plaintiff, Patrick Redwine, says he and the defendant were good friends and college roommates. But Patrick claims the defendant got into a lot of fights. Patrick says one night the defendant got into a fight and some of the defendant's blood got on Patrick's clothing. And as a result, Patrick was falsely arrested and charged with the assault. So he's suing his former friend for his attorney fees. Defendant Jason Mathis admits he's been in a lot of fights, but he claims he doesn't start the fights, he simply finishes them. Although Jason does admit to asking Patrick to leave his name out of the criminal case, he insists he never agreed to pay for Patrick's legal fees.
All right, tell me what happened.
Well, Jason and I met in high school. We played high school football together. Both went to the same college and roomed together. Jason was a great roommate, always worked hard in school. Only problem I ever had with Jason was he had a really bad temper. You know, he was consistently fighting. You know, I couldn't count on both hands how many fights I either heard about
Really?
or witnessed. And I learned the hard way, you know, going through the court system, that's not the way to, you know, solve your problems.
You've been in the court system yourself?
Correct.
For what?
For a fight.
Has he been prosecuted for fighting?
Yes, he has.
Let me hear from you about your fight, sir. You have temper issues or?
I wouldn't say so. I like to say that I don't start fights, I finish them.
All right. Go ahead.
He got into a fight in the middle of our sophomore year, and that same day, 3 guys showed up to our apartment complex looking for him, and him and I were walking through the halls and saw them. They were looking us up and down, and Jason was scared for his life, so he moved out of our apartment complex. Our friendship kind of dissolved from there. So January 29th, 2009, we're at a party together at a mutual friend's house. It was a long night of drinking, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and Jason's girlfriend comes in and screams at the top of her lungs, "Jason's in a fight, Jason's in a fight, come help, come help." Run outside, see Jason, the aftermath of the fight. I take him inside, he's got a bloody hand. His blood drips on my pants. I take him inside, tell him, you know, wash your hands, stay in here. You know, I'm gonna go back outside and check on, you know, what's going on. So I walked outside to be confronted by the Cincinnati Police Department. They had told me I was under arrest for assault, and they didn't give me a chance to defend myself. They threw me in the back of a cop car and took me to jail. I spent 3 hours in jail. The next morning, I got out. I went to the victim's house and I said, "I'm Pat Redwine. I didn't beat you up." And he went on to tell me that, you know, if you can't tell me who beat me up, then I'm going to go ahead and, you know, stay with this assault charge. Mm-hmm. So I didn't say Jason's name. I'd called Jason, explained to him the circumstances, and I went and talked to him and his mom. He had explained to me how he's on probation. You know, if he got a probation violation, he would have spent 30 days in jail. And he explained how he was in the process of starting clinicals because he's going to be a nurse. And I told him, well,
At least he can beat people up and fix them. Yeah. He beat them down and then heal them.
So I told him I wasn't going to take an assault charge, but if you know, so him and his mom asked me if I could drag out the process. They were in 100% agreement to pay my lawyer bills, any fees that I came out with.
So you were essentially taking the case. In other words, you were accepting his charges until he passed his probation period.
Correct.
In which time the agreement was he would then step forth and say, "I did it"?
I told him that you know, depending on how.
Let me hear from him. What's the scheme you all had?
Well, as far as the fight goes, I was assaulted first. I assaulted back, did more damage.
Objection. Objection.
We know
he
you
was not
always
there.
win fights.
He was
So
not there.
just
Nobody
go-
else was there to see it, so they don't really know. I did have a busted lip and a bloody hand. A few days later, he did arrange a meeting with me and my mother. There was no concrete agreement to pay for his attorney.
Objection.
I did recommend that he speak with the neighbor that I assaulted. and
say what? And do
offer to pay a restitution of his medical bills, and
even though you did it.
yes, at a reasonable price.
You beat the man up. He took the case for you, and so you tell him, we'd pay the man at a reasonable price.
I would rather go through it like that than go to jail.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you give him the money to pay the man then?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you said you all come to a good price,
Yeah.
and I'll pay you for it.
Yes.
Okay.
I agreed to pay the kid his restitution of his
Through
medical
him?
bills. Yes.
All right.
And it was
But not the legal fee.
Yeah.
Defendant Jason Maupin is being sued by his former friend, who claims he was falsely arrested for an assault that Jason committed. But Jason never confessed to the crime.
You didn't agree to pay his legal fees.
No, I did not.
Objection.
So he took the case for you. When it comes time for him to get an attorney so that he can defend himself against this case that he's taken for you, you say, well, you're on your own. I'm not giving you a dime on these attorney fees.
I told him do his best to keep my name out of it. If he had to, I was not going to let him go down for the charge.
Well, you letting him go down for the money?
I mean...
You mean what?
When we spoke, he said that he had a family friend that would represent him in court,
Objection.
and they would do it for $300.
Objection.
Any of your witnesses want to speak?
No, I mean, I just have my business partner here. We own a construction business together. We're in the process of putting together a pretty big contract. The court was...
Did you get the contract?
Yes.
Good, because you're not getting any money today. You all conspired to obstruct justice. You all committed a crime.
I wasn't a witness of the crime.
No.
He wouldn't
Didn't
have
you
to lie.
say that you agreed to accept the case until he was off
sir.
probation?
No, sir. I agreed to drag it out. There was no promises made.
Drag it out, why?
Because he was on probation.
Same thing, sir. Case dismissed. Y'all stay in college. You all conspired to obstruct justice. Have a good day.
He knows he's wrong in this situation, and we'll get it worked out one way or another.
I believe the case went exactly as I thought it would. I definitely don't have any hard feelings towards Pat, and I hope to work things out with him.
Justice.
We recently spoke with defendant Jason Maupin, who told us that after the case, he tried to repair his relationship with plaintiff Patrick Redwine, but Patrick initially ignored him. Jason said that now he and Patrick hang out occasionally, but not like before. Jason also said he's now married, has 2 kids, and is doing great.